Hey there everyone, and welcome back to the Bleeze channel. Mario Kart World has a lot of items. Some are good, and some are bad. Really bad. This has been a constant throughout the whole series. However, there has been one game that I believe to be the most interesting when it comes to items. Not 8 Deluxe, not World, not even Tour. Mario Kart Double Dash. Why is this? Well, if you don't know, Double Dash has a unique gimmick. You can control 2 characters on the same kart. Where do items come into play? Well, many characters had their unique items. Like, for example, Bowser had a large shell, and Donkey Kong had a huge banana peel. This, along with the unique gameplay of Double Dash, allowed for unique mashups of different characters to have unique items. And that got me thinking, what if every Mario Kart World character had their own item? So that's what I'm going to find out today. The item could be completely original, a modified version of an existing item, or just assigning an item to a character. If I see it fit, of course. With that, let's get started.
Let's go!
For Mario, I decided to go with bringing back the fireballs from Double Dash. Not the fire flower, but the fireballs. That's right. Balls. These would all fly out at the same time, all 5 of them. They would be able to ricochet off the walls and hit enemies. For Luigi, I went with a completely new item, the Poltergust. It would basically be a glorified piranha plant from Mario Kart 8. It could suck up coins and items and propel you forward. However, it wouldn't be able to deal damage. The most it could do is bring enemies closer to you while you zoomed past them after. Peach would have the heart from Double Dash. This item basically acts as a shield.
Hi, I'm Daisy!
For Daisy, I really couldn't think of anything, but her having the same item as Peach's would be lame. So I decided to at least change its appearance. It would be called the Daisy. No, not the name. It would look like the flower on her dress, and would behave the same as the heart, except this time it would do damage, acting as basically a mini damaging force field.
Yahoo!
Yoshi is obvious. It would be the Yoshi egg. This item would act as a green shell and spit out items once broken.
Wow!
For Birdo, it would be the same as Yoshi's, except it would go in a straight line like the coin shell. However, it would be much bigger.
Alright!
Rosalina would have a new item, the Luma. It would fly behind you and be able to take any item from any enemy that's near you. It would basically be like Boo, but with a smaller range. For Pauline, I went with another item, the music note. It would be 3 music notes that would circle around you. Press the item button and they would circle in a larger circle direction, making hitting enemies much easier. However, the effect would be quite short. And now it's time for sorry about that. Toad would have a new item, the gemstone from Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. Pull this, and you instantly get 12 free coins.
I'm Grover Cleveland, the only president to be married in the White House.
Toadette would bring the return of the Mushroom Cannon from Mario Kart Tour, which spits out mushrooms in front of you, making you whatever. There's really not much more to say about this. Next. Shy Guy would have a new radish item. If you get it, it would basically act like a green shell, except it bounces instead of gliding on the track.
Kitty!
King Boo would just have an increased drop rate for the Boo item. There's nothing too special here. Donkey Kong would bring back the big banana. This is, well, it's a big banana. What were you expecting, dentures? This banana would get split into 3 other smaller bananas if it gets hit. Bowser would bring back the Bowser shell, a shell which can only be thrown forward, yet it's very big and destructive.
Bowser Jr.
Bowser Jr. would get the new paintbrush item. When you use it, you can place 3 slowing puddles of paint for enemies to slow down on.
Oh my god!
Wario would just get an increased spawn rate for the coin box, an already existing item in this game. It's kinda lame, but it fits him the most.
Waluigi time!
Waluigi, however, would get the Bob-omb cannon from Mario Kart Tour. It shoots out Bob-ombs in front of you, but they wouldn't do damage to you. It'd just be really bad if they did.
Something's coming up the plumbing, poor Luigi's in a bind. Giant turtles out to get him, creepy crabs are right behind. Fighter flies, jeepers yikes, they're all coming out the pipes.
Mario, where are you?
Koopa Troopa would get a new item, the Shell Frenzy. It would have 3 green shells, 3 red shells, a gold shell, and a blue shell. Basically the Crazy 8 from 8, but for shells. Lakitu would bring the return of the dreaded Thundercloud from Mario Kart Wii. You would have to hit an opponent before it shocks you so you can move on to that one. Like a big game of hot potato. Goo Goo Gaga. Baby Mario would have the Chain Chomp again from Double Dash. It's basically like another Piranha Plant. This is gonna be the same item as Baby Luigi. I literally cannot think of anything. Maybe some shit-filled diaper, I guess. Yeah, you fling shit at people. That's how you show how shitty the babies are. Goo Goo Gaga and Baby Daisy too. For Baby Daisy, I just went with the bubble from Mario Kart Tour. I cannot think of anything again. It's just a weaker bullet bill, and it carries you a shorter distance. Goo Goo Gaga and Baby Rosalina too. For Baby Rosalina, I went with the Launch Star, from another item from Tour. It shoots out 3 rings that boost you across the track. Okay, I completely forgot about Baby Peach. She gets the bubble too, I don't give a fuck. Now it's time for the NPC characters. Now it's time to get a little bit interesting. Stomp, stomp, I'm a Goomba. Goomba will be an odd pick, because I'm going with a Goomba item. Yeah, Goomba can throw another Goomba, which basically acts as a banana peel that can slowly run over to you and attack you, kinda like how he behaves as a hazard in the game.
Piranha Plant!
For Piranha Plant, we're going with the same logic as Goomba. We're bringing back the Piranha Plant item from Mario Kart 8. Some might say it wouldn't make sense for a racer to use the same character as an item, but then you realize you're talking about the game where you can play as a potted plant racing against a coin purse, so I'm gonna count it. Glub glub, I'm a Cheep Cheep. Cheep Cheep is one of the hardest ones, as it doesn't have a ton going for it. So I'm gonna make another item up. This time it'll be called the Water Mushroom. It would give Cheep Cheep a water-like consistency, allowing him to freely drive over the off-road. Think of it how like the Boo item makes you invisible, but instead it turns you into a water fish thingy. I don't know, I'm just grasping for straws at this point. Moving on to Spike, we have another obvious one. Good old spiked ball. Throw it and it would roll down the track. However, it would move very slowly, meaning it could throw enemies off.
Do you want to work at a bank?
Why not? Some of my best memories are at banks.
You robbed us 3 times.
For Nabbit, we'll bring back the fake item block. It would fit Nabbit's sneaky and trickster personality well, and the fake item block is a really long-awaited item, honestly. Brah, I'm Monty Mole. Monty Mole will bring back the Tanuki tail. Let's go. No idea why he would bring it back, honestly. I just like the idea because the Tanuki tail equals 3D Land, and 3D Land equals awesome. Rah, I'm Rocky Wrench. Rocky Wrench would have, well, the wrench. Basically a smaller boomerang flower that stays in the air for longer. Dry Bones would have the Bone Shield. If he gets hit, he comes back to life, like in the games. The thing that differentiates the Bone Shield with Peach's item is that once hit, the shield would explode into multiple small and easy-to-dodge bone projectiles that can hit enemies. Poke poke, I'm a Pokey. For Pokey, I decided to make the item called the Sand Pillar. Like in the new Super Mario Bros. Games, this would launch you up. However, instead of being helpful, it would be hurtful. For the enemy, of course. Airtime is not good in this game, and it would only slow them down. Aw, hell yeah, I love football. Aw, yeah! Charge and Truck would have the football item. It would be yet another bouncy projectile, but it would attach onto anyone it hits, instead of hurting them. It would slow them down. The one that would be hit would have to pass the ball to another person, the slowing feature being more and more dramatic each pass, until it finally disappears. Hammer Bro would simply get an increased spawn rate of the hammer item. Kinda lame, but it was only fitting for him. Crackle lackle, I'm a fishbone. Fishbone would have the item called the mini bones. Small bones would fly all over the place. These bones could hit enemies, break defense items, or even break item boxes to stop enemies from getting them. Chirp chirp, I'm a conch door. Conch door would have an iron beak item, where there's a small radius where it could slam down and create a kind of damaging shock waves to enemies. Kinda like the horn, but a little bit worse. Hey, you're the guy from 3D Land. Para Biddy-Bud would have the Biddy-Bud chain. 2 or 3 Biddy-Buds would run behind your cart and be able to do damage to enemies if you trail them, like how they behave in the main games. Hey, you're the cooler guy from 3D Land. I like you. Coin Copper would have the coin purse item. This is where you could become invisible and steadily get coins for free for a short period of time. Once again, like how he behaves in-game. I could put a B-movie meme here, but it wouldn't really be funny. Buzz buzz, I'm a sting bee. For Sting Bee, he could place a vat of honey down, slowing down enemies and even taking some of their coins. The enemy would be like, oh no, my coins. Get it? Because they stole their coins. Swoop. For Swoop, he would have a swoop item. When you use it, he could swoop down from behind you and give you a swooping boost, also letting you deal swooping damage to anyone in your swooping wake. Hey, look, you're the ghost from 3D Land. I like you even better. Actually, I still like Quinn Coffer more, never mind. Peepa could have the Peepa Circle. It would be a force field, but instead of dealing damage, it can merely slow down anyone who gets close. Oh wow, you're even better than all those guys. You're my favorite enemy. I love you, Wiggler. You marry me. For Wiggler, it could have the Wildflower item. This item would make Wiggler mad. Really stomping mad. And make him be able to trample anyone in his way.
Money, money, money. Money, money, money.
Smarty boy!
Yeah?
What is this?
Sidestepper would see the return of the POW block from Mario Kart Wii. This is because in Sidestepper's debut game, Mario Bros., the POW block is an integral item in it. Quack quack, I'm a cataquack. Cataquack would have the cataquack item. This wouldn't look like much, just having a little tiny cataquack behind you. But when you activate it, it turns like super big, and it could throw enemies up in the air like how it attacks in Peach Beach. I have no idea what to put here, but Pianta. The next one is Pianta. Pianta could have the Shine Sprite item. He could throw it, and it could hit the enemy, while also giving them a distracting, bright gleam on their screen.
Happy feet! Wombo combo! That ain't Falco! That ain't Falco!
Penguin could have the penguin suit. It would make it faster, especially on ice maps, and give it the ice flower ability. Don't kill dolphins, guys. Don't kill them. They're nice little dolphins. Don't kill them. Dolphin could have the dolphin item. It would behave kinda like the bubble, except it could also damage enemies. But it could also be damaged. What did I just say? Don't kill the dolphins. But, you know, if you throw a shell or trail it, it can make it go away. So like a weaker bullet bill. Goddamn dolphin killers. I had a coworker that was a dolphin once. Oh, look at that, a snowman. Snowman would have a snowball item. It would go down the middle of the road, getting bigger until it hits someone, like an actual snowball. You know, like in real life. You know, like nature and stuff. Moo. Finally, the cow. It could bring the return of the Super Bell from Mario Kart Tour with a twist. Instead of the cat bell, you know, like the Super Bell, it would be the exact bell that the cow has over her neck. And that's it. That's one new unique item for each Mario Kart World character. Sorry if some of these sounded pretty uncreative towards the end. I was grasping for straws there. Most of these characters have literally nothing. Like, what the hell does Cal from Moo Moo Metals have other than milk? Well, thanks for sticking around anyways. And I'll see you all real soon. Wario would just get an increased spawn rate for the coin box. It's already an existing item in the game. Wario would just get the coin box, an already existing item in the game. Like King Boo, he would just get oh my god, I was so close, please. Wario would just get the coin box, an already existing item in the game. Oh, fucking dude, this is the 5th time I've done this take. Dude, please, just let me get it right. For Piranha Plant, we're not again. Not again. For Daisy, I legit couldn't think of anything but her having... Oh my god, stop it. Oh yeah, guys, I have a TikTok now. Click the link in my bio to see some more uncensored. Please click